Whenever in this city, screens flicker with pornography, with science fiction vampires, victimized hirelings bending to the lash, we also have to walk. If simply as we walk through the rain-soaked garbage, the tabloid cruelties of our own neighborhoods. We need to grasp our lives inseparable from those rancid dreams, that blurt of metal, those disgraces, and the red begonia perilously flashing from a tenement sill 6 stories high, or the long-legged young girls playing ball in the junior high school playground. No one has imagined us. We want to live like trees, sycamores blazing through the sulfuric air, dappled with scars, still exuberantly budding, our animal passion rooted in the city. I wake up in your bed. I know I have been dreaming. Much earlier, the alarm broke us from each other. You've been at your desk for hours. I know what I dreamed. Our friend, the poet, comes into my room where I've been writing for days. Drafts, carbons, poems are scattered everywhere. And I want to show her one poem, which is the poem of my life, but I hesitate and wake. You've kissed my hair to wake me. I dreamed you were a poem. I say a poem I wanted to show someone, and I laugh and fall dreaming again of the desire to show you to everyone I love, to move openly together in the pull of gravity, which is not simple, which carries the feathered grass a long way down the up-breathing air. Since we're not young, weeks have to do time for years of missing each other. Yet only this odd warp in time tells me we're not young. Did I ever walk the morning streets at 20, my limbs streaming with a pure joy? Did I lean from any window over the city listening for the future, as I listen here with nerves tuned for your ring? And you move toward me with the same tempo. Your eyes are everlasting, the green spark of the blue-eyed grass of early summer, the green-blue wild cress washed by the spring. At 20, yes, we thought we'd live forever. At 45, I want to know even our limits. I touch you knowing we weren't born tomorrow, and somehow each of us will help the other live. And somewhere, each of us must help the other die. I come home from you through the early light of spring, flashing off ordinary walls, the Pez Dorado, the discount wares, the shoe store. I'm lugging my sack of groceries. I dash for the elevator where a man, taut, elderly, carefully composed, lets the door almost close on me. For God's sake, hold it, I croak at him. Hysterical, he breathes my way. I let myself into the kitchen, unload my bundles, make coffee, open the window, put on Nina Simone singing Here Comes the Sun. I open the mail, drinking delicious coffee, delicious music, my body still both light and heavy with you. The mail lets fall a Xerox of something written by a man aged 27, a hostage, tortured in prison. My genitals have been the object of such a sadistic display. They keep me constantly awake with the pain. Do whatever you can to survive. You know, I think men love wars, and my incurable anger, my unmendable wounds break open further with tears. I am crying helplessly, and they still control the world, and you are not in my arms. This apartment full of books could crack open to the thick jaws, the bulging eyes of monsters, easily. Once open the books, you have to face the underside of everything you've loved. The rack and pinchers held in readiness, the gag even the best voices have had to mumble through, the silence burying unwanted children, women, deviants witness in desert sand. Kenneth tells me he's been arranging his books so he can look at Blake and Kafka while he types. Yes, and we still have to reckon with Swift, loathing the woman's flesh while praising her mind, Goethe's dread of the mothers, Claudel vilifying Gide and the ghosts, their hands clasped for centuries of artists dying in childbirth, wise women charred at the stake, centuries of books unwritten piled behind these shelves. And we still have to stare in the absence of men who would not, women who could not speak to our life, this still unexcavated hole called civilization, this act of translation, this half-world. Your small hands, precisely equal to my own, only the thumb is larger, longer. In these hands, I could trust the world. Or in many hands like these, handling power tools or steering wheel or touching a human face. Such hands could turn the unborn child rightways in the birth canal, or pilot the exploratory rescue ship through icebergs, or piece together the fine, needle-like shards of a great crater cup bearing on its sides figures of ecstatic women striding to the Sippel's den or the Eleusinian cave. Such hands might carry out an unavoidable violence with such restraint, with such a grasp of the range and limits of violence, that violence ever after would be obsolete. What kind of beast would turn its life into words? What atonement is this all about? And yet, writing words like these, I'm also living. Is all this close to the wolverine's howled signals, that modulated cantata of the wild? Or, when away from you, I try to create you in words? Am I simply using you like a river or a war? And how have I used rivers? How have I used wars to escape writing of the worst thing of all? Not the crimes of others, not even our own death, but the failure to want our own freedom passionately enough so that blighted elms, sick rivers, massacres would seem mere emblems of the desecration of ourselves.